Imagine a city already scarred by war, only to be torn apart again, this time by its own people. In a shocking turn of events, Gaza City has become the epicenter of a deadly clash between Hamas security forces and members of the Dughmush clan, leaving at least 27 dead. This internal conflict, one of the most violent since the end of major Israeli operations, has plunged the enclave into further chaos. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. The violence erupted not on a battlefield, but in the heart of a residential neighborhood, forcing families to flee for their lives, not from foreign invaders, but from their fellow Gazans. The confrontation began on Saturday when over 300 Hamas fighters stormed a residential block in the al-Hawa neighborhood, where Dughmush gunmen had taken refuge. Witnesses described masked Hamas militants exchanging gunfire with clan members near the Jordanian Hospital, a scene that left residents in a state of sheer panic. Medical sources confirmed that 19 Dughmush clan members and 8 Hamas fighters were killed in the ensuing battle. One resident poignantly remarked, "This time, people weren't fleeing Israeli attacks. They were running from their own people." The Dughmush family, one of Gaza's most influential clans, has long had a strained relationship with Hamas, marked by sporadic clashes in the past. But this time, the stakes are higher, and the reasons behind the conflict are deeply contentious. Hamas claims the operation was launched after Dughmush gunmen killed 2 of its fighters and wounded 5 others. However, a Dughmush source tells a different story, alleging that Hamas forces sought to evict the family from a building, formerly the Jordanian Hospital, where they had sought shelter after their homes were destroyed in recent Israeli attacks. The source claims Hamas intended to establish a new base there, raising questions about the group's motives and methods. The Hamas-run Interior Ministry insists its forces are working to restore order, warning that any armed activity outside the framework of the resistance will be met with force. Yet, both sides trade accusations, each blaming the other for igniting the violence. And this is the part most people miss. The clash comes as Hamas is reportedly redeploying about 7,000 security force members to reassert control over areas recently vacated by Israeli troops. Armed Hamas units have been spotted across several districts, some in civilian clothing and others in Gaza police uniforms, though the Hamas media office denies deploying fighters in the streets. This internal strife raises critical questions. Is Hamas's focus on consolidating power diverting attention from the broader needs of Gaza's people? Or is this a necessary step to maintain order in a war-torn region? What do you think? Is Hamas justified in its actions? Or is this a dangerous overreach? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is a conversation that demands diverse perspectives.